Start a project, create a spider, look at the page, decide what data to extract, inspect the elements, fire up the Scrapy shell, pretty print the response text. Using the browser dev tools and maybe pretty printed HTML, look for expat expressions to use as data selectors. Implement the expat selectors inside the spider. Yield the extracted data. In this case, I yield a dictionary for each book on the page. Now call the crawl command from the project root directory. The data can be saved to files straight off by passing the -o parameter, followed by a file name. You can do CSV, XML, JSON, and JL. By running a single command, I'm taking a web page which is purposed for human consumption and distill the information I want into data that's ready to be consumed by machines. Let's go slower. Change the directory into your scraping projects folder. Activate the virtual environment where you set up Scrapy by sourcing the activate script under bin in the virtual env directory. Now that the environment is ready, Scrapy start project with a name of your choosing. I'll name this one books, as we're gonna be scraping product entries from books.toscrape.com, a phony bookstore site hosted by Scraping Hub. Generate a spider file in this boilerplate code with the Scrapy gen spider command, followed by a name of your choosing and the domain in the website you'll be scraping. Scrapy gen spider -help tells us that the command -list lists us the available spider templates. As I haven't specified which one I want, the default has been used. Now open the book spider file that has been created in the spiders directory. The correct URL is apparently set. It has been generated derived from the domain name that I set up, that I gave to the command, to the gen spider command. The only thing that needs to be modified to this file is the parse method, which currently does nothing. We're gonna use the parse method for both data extraction and data processing. Later we're gonna be using pipelines, Scrapy pipelines, to process the data. But for now, we're gonna yield processed data from the parse method. What you gotta do now is yield dictionaries from this method containing your scraped data. I'm first writing the code minus the selectors. Selectors will come in shortly. I'm yielding a dictionary for each book on the page. Now I'm compiling the expat expressions to extract data out of the HTML. I'll be using the browser dev tools to look at the HTML. So let's write the selector for it now. Let's fire up the Scrapy shell. So yeah. Followed by the URL, which in this case is books.toscrape.com. And okay, what? So there's inconsistent indentation right here somewhere. Okay. Now, yep, it worked now. So we can pretty print the HTML like this. Import pretty print from pretty print, import pretty print, bprint, and bprint response.text, and this is gonna spit out the pretty printed HTML. And we can see from here, can we see it? Yeah, check this out. So we got article, class equals product pod. And this is the line. Like, this is the line. So this will be this line element. And I'm selecting by this, class equals product pod, which is right beneath it, right under it. So let's experiment. The response, the response, the HTML response apparently has a the response from the page the Scrapy brought back has an XPath method, and that's what we're gonna be using. And this XPath method, okay, so let's have an XPath expression for article class equals product pod. Okay, so we do have a bunch of selectors. If we check the length of this list of selectors which was found, we see that we have 20. So 20 selectors have been found based on this XPath expression. Article, so all the elements on the page which are articles, which are an article element with the class equal to product pod, and we have 20 items found. And if we check here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 4 by 5, 20. Success. We have extracted the root of all of them. And we're gonna iterate on each of these selectors to extract data for each book. So this XPath expression right here, so I can select it. This is basically exactly what I've written in the shell right there. And now I have instantiated an empty dictionary, and I'm populating for these keys: title, rating, price, and availability. So let's experiment for each of them. Let's put this process to sleep and foreground the second job. I'm doing all of this in a single terminal. I think that's pretty cool. So, yeah. So, this list of selectors is what we have right now. We can index it to get the first one, or the 10th one. Let's take the 10th one. And now, what I'm gonna do now, the thing is, if we check the methods for these selectors which were found, we can see that they have an XPath. I wonder, do they have the same type? Like this selector, which was this index selector, which I have right here. If I take the type of it, if I check its type, is it equal to the type of response? Because they apparently have pretty much the same methods. No, it's not. So they do have the same. They do have much of the same methods, but they don't have the same type. One of them is a Scrapy selector, and one of them is a Scrapy HTTP response. Okay, interesting. So two different types, but they both have an XPath method, and that's what I'm gonna use right now. The XPath method of the Scrapy selector. So I want to select for the title. I want to extract the title, and the title is apparently in this header 3 element in the. It is both in the text enclosed by the tags and also in the attribute. And I think, yeah, check this out. Like the text, if I inspect this element right here, I can see that the text is shortened, and I have points right there marking that it's longer than it fits. So if I inspect this one, yep, the text is incomplete, but the title in the attribute is complete. So that's what I'm extracting. And right under article, I have h3. Then I have an A element, and that's it. No class, no none. But I think it's the only h3 in the article element, so it's gonna be fine. So from the A, I'm extracting title, and dot extract first, and I have it. Starving Heart, which is, where is it? Here. Okay. Starving Hearts. I'm using the extract first method, because if I'm not using the extract first, Control Shift, whatever. So if I'm not using the extract first, if I'm using just extract, I'm gonna get a list of all the selectors which were found, or all the extracted things which were extracted by this expat method. But if I'm giving it extract first, it's kind of like doing this, but it's better. I don't know exactly why. I think if it finds nothing, it outputs a different type of thing. It doesn't give out an it doesn't give out an error. It just gives a non-element, which is preferable in this case. It doesn't return it returns something. It doesn't return it doesn't raise an error. So extract first. This is the title, and this is the expression. Put it to sleep. Foreground the put it foreground the first, and now paste in this shit right here. Okay. And why do I have? No, we have a problem here. Okay, let's type it by hand. So in each, it's the h3a at title dot extract first. And to see it better, I'm gonna put it like this. Okay. Okay, so the rating. Let's see what's up with the rating. The rating. Star rating. It's a paragraph class which has its class named, it's a paragraph element whose class is star rating 3. So I'ma just fuck. Should have deleted it. Okay. So expat. Fuck, this is not a very good tutorial. I'm not explaining what I'm doing the way that I should be explaining this shit. But fuck it. I'm just gonna make this shit and post it, and maybe the next tutorial I'm gonna make, it's gonna be better. So, it's in a paragraph element whose class is star rating 3. 3. So the star rating value in the class. So apparently these elements as attributes can have multiple values in the string that's attached to key to the attribute name. So you can have class equals and space separated. You can have different words, different values for the class. In this case we have star rating and 3. And I think 3 is what denotes the number of stars. So actually the values, the value of the rating is inside the class. I'm gonna extract this I'm gonna take the paragraph whose class contains star rate, and I do get something. Yeah, I do. Star rating 2, and apparently it's right here, star rating 2. So this is the book, it has 2 stars. Precisely what I get out of the selector. Yeah. The means of extracting this will be, I must select for the class, and if I extract this, what I get is the full class value, star rating and 2. And from here, so I'm just getting the string out. So I'm gonna split by space. I'm gonna split this string by space, and I'm gonna get a list of strings with this, with star rating and with 2 in it, like this. Split by space. Yep, and I get the star rating and the 2. And what I want to extract is the rating, so I want the number of stars. So I'm gonna just index the value. Why not? 1, because this is 0, this is 1. So yeah, 2. Cool. Let's do it in the file. So it was the paragraph which contains in its class the string star rating, right? Yep, star rating. Let me put it down here so it's easier to read. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pythonic. And I'm just gonna take the class out of it. Extract first. Split by space, the first one. So that's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the 2 out of it, hopefully. Let's go to price. Okay, let's go to price. The price is right here. So I have a div product price. Product price. And in here I have a class named price color with a string of pound sterling 51.77. Yup, this is what I'm taking out of it. Div class equals product price. FG2. So response.xpath. Let's write it from scratch, like why not? Article class equals product pod. Yup. The first one. Yup. XPath div class equals product price. And I do get something out of it. And in here I have a paragraph with class equals price color. Okay. Paragraph element with class equals price color. Yeah. This is it. I can see the value right here. Dope. So how am I gonna extract a number out of this? Because if I just take the text out, this is how you take the text out. You just slash and text. Extract first. And I have the text out. I don't want this. I don't want pound sterling 51.77. I want the number. How am I going to do this? The thing is that a string is a list of characters, so I can index the string. And I'm going to index it from the first element on. And I get precisely what interests me, which is the string containing the digits of the number. And if I just cast it to a float now. Whoa. What the fuck just happened? Okay. I think it, yeah, okay. Boom. And if I check the type of it, it's a float. Dope. So yeah, I don't think that explained, I haven't explained what I've done here. But let's go to the file. The price. So it was the div with the class equals product price, and inside this div element I have a p element which contains precisely the price. So div class equals product price. Okay. And out of this, paragraph p class equals price color. And now I'm extracting the text, which is bracketed by the tags of this element, So just slash text method. To keep it tidy, I formatted this way because you can see the expat expression on a single line and the processing that I make on the second line. So this is where it goes, this is the expat expression, and this is the processing. So let's process this shit. Extract first. And now, if I remember correctly, what I did in the shell was cast the entire thing to a first index from the second character on, and then cast the whole thing to a float to get a number in the database, not a string representing the number, but an actual number, an actual floating point number. So I index it like this, to get rid of the first character. And now I'm gonna have another line in which I take the value that's already in book data price and I cast it to a float. I convert it to a float. Right here. Like that. So I'm assigning a new value to book data price. And I'm assigning it the float of the previous value, which was already in book data of price. Okay. So we have the price. Now let's check for the availability. Let's extract the availability, which is in this product price cell, div element. It's within this div class equals product price element, which we already indexed right here. So from here, class in stock availability. So in stock is the actual availability value, and availability is the name of the class. It's pretty freaky that you have both the value and the class name in the same attribute. But whatever, Expat is smart, we can do this. So we just take another paragraph element, whose class contains availability. So contains class availability, and we do get something out of it, and we can see in stock right there, in stock, boom. And now to extract the in stock, we just take the class, we extract the entirety of the class attributes values, and we use the same trick we used earlier for the rating. We're gonna split by space and then index the first element of the list, and that's gonna be our value. So split by space character, we get the list, and index the first, and we have in stock. It's cool. And it's really cool because I can pretty much change this right here. So if this is 0, this is the first book in stock, which one isn't in stock? Apparently all of them are in stock. Whoa. So yeah, all of them are in stock. We have multiple pages. We do have multiple pages. We're gonna mess with that later. Right now, single page. So yeah, in stock. Let's put it in the file. Okay, no. Availability. So again, it's the div with the class product price, and apparently I haven't put the quotes here. So yeah, and then here we have the, whoa, this is pretty crazy, like so inside this p element we have another element which corresponds to the icon right there, but we don't need it. So let's take what out of here. We take the p whose class is equal no, whose class contains and from there we just take the class. We extract the first. We're not extracting, yeah, we're extracting the first. We're taking from the list of elements that have been found, which in this case is a single element. We're taking the first one. Split by space. Then indexed. And this should be it. Now I save, already saved it. Let's see if it works. To call the spider to do its job, to crawl, you use the crawl function. To call the spider to action, I use the Scrapy crawl command, followed by the name of the spider. And it worked. Yup, it worked perfectly. There's no trace back. We can see the values being scraped right here, but let's output this whole thing to a file to see it better. And I think I'm gonna go for a CSV file. I'm gonna name it books first page.csv, and there's our file. And let's see what it contains. Okay, so we have a few entries. I don't know exactly how many. I can count how many with word count. Word count minus L for line. We have 21 lines. We have one line for the head of the table and then 20 lines for each of the book. So in stock, this is the availability. 5, this is the rating. 52.29 the price, and the title right there, Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life. So yeah, this is pretty much it. So this is basically it. What I would like to do further is, well, in this case we have the number of stars is represented by a string, by the English representation of the number in a word, and I like to change that. I like to make it be an actual number, an actual integer from 1 to 5. I think I'm gonna use a dictionary and key the values with it in another tutorial. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In the next tutorials I'm gonna cover pipelines. I'm gonna cover how to make the spider follow, like click next and go to the next page, and then the next page, and then the next page to take all the books from the website. Hopefully I'm gonna do JavaScript scraping with Splash, and yeah, so we're done. We just have to deactivate from the environment, and now, yeah, see you in the next tutorials.